Hi my people, and welcome back to day 10 of our origami challenge. Today we're going to be making water balloons.
I've got my handy dandy square of paper, and we're going to get started with the color side down, which means we're going to be folding white against white to make our taco fold. Side to side. Going to open it up and turn it so that the crease is pointing towards me. I'm then going to fold it to make the crease touch over itself and make an additional taco fold. That's going to get us a plus in the center. If you're ready for the next step, what we're going to do is take it and fold it to the diagonal. So you can bring the diagonal top down to the side and crease it so that we've got this handy dandy triangle happening. If it helps you to think about it this way, we took the bottom of a diamond and touched it to the top, creasing it over. And then once again, we're going to open it back up and make the crease that we just made point at us and do an additional triangle fold or diagonal fold from the bottom back up to the top. We're going to then open up our square of paper, and as you see, we've got an addition sign and a multiplication sign. That means we're ready to go. We're then going to do our squash fold. So I keep this triangle in place here, and I'm going to fold one side down, make sure that that's nice and creased, and I'm going to fold this line back over, creasing it in the center, nice and even. I've got one side of my squash fold done. If you notice, we kind of have like this three-dimensional triangle happening now. I'm going to do the same thing. Going to fold the left-hand side over and crease it really well. Then I'm going to take this middle line, as you can see in the center, crease it really well. And the last thing we have to do is squash. Squash fold. All right. Now, here comes the fun. We're going to take our bottom triangle flap, fold it up to the center point, and crease. Same thing, what we do on one side, we do to the other, taking our left-hand side triangle flap, folding it up to the top with a crease. We've now got a fun diamond happening here, right? What we do on one side, we've got to do on the other. So we're going to flip over our whole shape. We're going to take the right-hand fold, the right-hand flap, I should say, and touch it to the top and crease it. Same thing with our last and final flap. We're going to bring it up to the top and crease it. All right, so you guys have seen this shape before, but what we're about to do with it is a little different. We've got all of our fun flaps pointing to the top now. I'm gonna lay it back down, and I'm gonna take this inner flap that we've got on the right-hand side. I'm gonna take this point and move it to the center line. For me, it's easier to fold it if I've got the point that I'm folding facing away from me and back up. And then we can do the same thing, bringing the top down to the bottom. If it's confusing because I flipped the shape, I'll show you again on the other side without flipping the shape so that my folds go from top to bottom. We're gonna do it again on this side, but instead of flipping it from top to bottom, which is, I turned it this way, I'm gonna keep it from side to side. For whatever reason, this isn't as easy for me as the other one is, but I'll show it to you this way. So we're gonna take our flaps, right? I always start with the right first, and I'm gonna fold the right-hand flap to the center line and crease it. Gonna do the same thing with the left-hand flap. Gonna pick it up, fold it to the center line, and crease it. So if you've done it on all four flaps, we should have two triangles pointing towards each other and two triangles pointing towards each other. Now, this next part is super fun. You see all my flappies at the top? We're gonna do some crazy folding and tucking with these guys. So the first move I'm gonna do is take my flap on the right-hand side and fold it out and away. See this new triangle that's formed? That means we got it the right way. I can then do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna take this flap and fold it over. So now I have two triangles pointing away from the center. All right, next thing we're gonna do is take this flap and fold it back, over and back on top of the flap we just folded to make a little tiny triangle so I don't have any extra. Again, I'll show you again. We take this extra piece that's here, fold it back over so that there is nothing extra hanging off the side. Gonna do the same thing here, taking this outer side, folding it flush against the side of my triangle, and making another mini triangle. That's what we gotta look like, okay? Kind of looks like little legs trying to reach out. Okay, this next part is really challenging, so I'm gonna actually have you do this, what we just did, on the other side first before we move to the next fold. So find those flaps, they're at the top, and we're gonna fold it down and over the edge of this triangle to create a new triangle on top. What we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So I'm gonna pull this triangle over, fold the flap on top. We now have 2 triangles pointing away from us. Looking really good. This next thing, we take our flap, fold it back over on top to make a mini triangle. So we went from here to here. We've got to get one more of these little legs happening. So we're gonna take this guy, fold him over, crease him on top. All right, we should have these really fun little legs on both sides. This next part is pretty difficult. So if you want to watch first and then follow along after I've done it, I'm gonna do it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I am going to fold the leg over to move it out of the way, right? So it's still my little leg here. And I'm gonna open up this flap just a little bit. You'll notice that on the inside of this flap, we can kind of make like a little cone. It's like a little ice cream cone happening right there. I'm gonna take this triangle that I've got and I'm going to tuck it inside of the little cone that I made and flatten it so that it disappears. It is no longer there. So again, I'm gonna do it again on this side. If you wanna try it now that you've watched me, you can. I'm gonna move the flap out of the way and I'm gonna open up this little leg. I'll just kind of stick my finger in here to create an ice cream cone. And I gotta put my ice cream in my ice cream cone. Ready? Tucky, tucky. Boom! Now, they've disappeared, and that's actually the fold that holds the water bomb together, okay? Now, 2 more chances to watch me do this before you try it yourself if you're still confused. Move the leg out of the way, open up this flap, and make an ice cream cone by just sticking my finger inside, rounding it out, tucking our little leg or our ice cream inside, and folding it flat again. One last time, open the leg up, ice cream cone. He wants some ice cream. He's got some ice cream. And now you have a water bomb. What's really fun is we only have to do 2 more things in order to get our water balloon to function. First thing to do is we're gonna touch the triangles together and close them. Okay, again, here's our 2 triangles. Gonna touch them together and close them. And what we do on one side, we've got to do on the other side. Here's our 2 triangles. Fold it and touch. There we go, pinchy, pinchy, pinch to make sure it's nice and flat and even. Now you'll notice there's a point on this side and there's kind of a hole on this side. Here comes the fun, are you ready? You are gonna put your mouth right here and blow to get the balloon to inflate. I have no idea if you saw my face or not, do that, but I think this is pretty darn cool. So, enjoy making yourself some water balloons today. It looks like a nice sunny day to go outside and toss some at your friends or family, so feel free to fill it up with water on the top. These are only one use, sadly, and you do need to help save the environment and pick up the water bombs that you throw. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the day and have some fun making some origami.